2011, 16-year-old Emily Carter vanished from her quiet hometown in Oregon. She was a bright, cautious, and well-liked high school student who had never caused worry for her parents or teachers. On the afternoon she disappeared, she had stayed late at school to finish an assignment. Around 4:30 p.m., she packed her bag and left alone, walking the familiar path toward her home. Nobody knew it would be the last time anyone saw her. Her backpack was found near the river that evening, untouched and seemingly abandoned, but Emily herself was gone. There were no signs of struggle, no witnesses, and no surveillance cameras had captured her movements. Search teams scoured the surrounding forest, questioned neighbors, and patrolled the streets for days. Her parents grew frantic, posting flyers and calling local authorities, but the case quickly went cold. Emily had left behind her phone, her diary, and even her passport. Friends remembered her as quiet, kind, and deeply intelligent, with no known enemies or personal issues. Her disappearance was an enigma from the start. Months after Emily vanished, strange letters began arriving at her family's home. They were typed, never handwritten, and contained personal memories only Emily could know. One letter recalled a family vacation that Emily's parents had forgotten themselves, describing details about her favorite ice cream flavors and games she played with her younger cousin. Each letter was carefully worded, cold and precise, yet unnervingly intimate. The letters ceased as abruptly as they had begun. Police investigated, but there were no fingerprints, no DNA, and no clue as to who could have sent them. The family was left with only fear, confusion, and an eerie sense that Emily was still somehow watching them from afar. The mystery intensified over the years, gnawing at the minds of both the investigators and the community. In 2023, 12 years after she disappeared, a woman walked into a police station in a nearby city, claiming to be Emily Carter. She was older, confident, and strikingly different from the shy teenager who had vanished. Her DNA confirmed her identity, but when questioned, she gave a story that seemed impossible. She claimed she had never been missing, had lived a normal life, and that she had simply not been in contact with anyone from her hometown. Records were non-existent. No school, no social media, no employment, no trace of her life during the years she had been gone. The detectives were stunned. Her family, desperate for answers, tried to reconcile the girl before them with the one they had lost so long ago, but even they struggled to recognize her. Something was profoundly wrong. As investigators dug deeper, an even darker truth began to emerge. 6 months after Emily's disappearance, her parents had adopted another girl named Emma Carter. This child bore an uncanny resemblance to Emily, and over the years, they had slowly trained her to believe she was their missing daughter. Emma had been coached meticulously, taught details about Emily's life, and subtly manipulated until she fully embodied the identity of their long-lost child. Meanwhile, the real Emily, upon discovering the truth, had fled in fear. The letters the family had received during the intervening years, which had seemed to hint at her survival, were in fact sent by Emma, a twisted proxy in a family delusion that had grown beyond reason. Psychologists examining the case later suggested the parents suffered from a rare psychological phenomenon known as shared delusional disorder, wherein a dominant individual's beliefs are imposed on others within the family, creating a false reality. The parents were so convinced of their perception that they were willing to overwrite the identity of a real child with a fabricated one, believing they were doing what was right. Emma, meanwhile, became a victim of both the parents' delusions and her own indoctrination, leading to a mental breakdown when confronted with the truth. In the end, the parents were arrested for psychological abuse and identity fraud. Emma underwent extensive psychiatric treatment, and Emily disappeared once more, this time voluntarily. Her last message to investigators and friends was chilling. "I don't know who I am anymore." No one has heard from her since. The town of Pine Hollow remains haunted by the story of the girl who was found twice, once in flesh and again in the twisted mind of a family consumed by grief, delusion, and obsession. The case continues to baffle true crime experts and remains unsolved in terms of Emily's current whereabouts. Questions linger. Was there ever truly safety for Emily? Could anyone predict the extremes of grief and paranoia that drove her parents to manipulate reality itself? The story leaves a lasting shadow over Pine Hollow, a chilling reminder of how fragile reality can become when distorted by obsession, and how truth can sometimes be stranger than fiction. What would you do if your entire life was a lie? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more true crime mini-movies and documentaries, subscribe to the channel.